So today, we're going to jump into the Monday MO. It's a fantastic toolkit from Mikulsky that's all about helping us transform not just our work, but, well, our entire lives. You know that feeling, right? That Sunday night dread, the thought of that alarm clock on Monday morning. We've all been there. But what if that feeling isn't really about Monday at all? And that's exactly where the Monday Mo comes in. Think of it as the perfect antidote to that dread. It's a weekly reset, just packed with insights to help you build a better week. And, ultimately, a much more meaningful life. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by unpacking the Monday morning problem. Then, we'll dive into 3 key principles: finding your purpose, building your mindset, and serving others. And we'll wrap it all up by asking a really big question. How will you measure your life? So, let's get this straight. The problem isn't Monday. The book makes a great point that the dread we feel is really just a symptom of something deeper, a disconnect from our purpose. It's a big warning sign that our work and our why just aren't lined up. And Ben Franklin's words here really put it all into perspective, don't they? Time is the one thing we have that is totally non-refundable. It just highlights how urgent it is to find meaning in what we do every day, instead of just, getting through it. Look, the core idea here isn't some huge overnight fix. Not at all. It's all about the incredible power of a small, consistent weekly reset. That's the Monday MO that builds on itself over time to create absolutely massive change. Okay, so how do we fix that disconnect? Well, it all starts with doing the internal work, with defining your why. Before you can align your life, you've got to know what you're aligning it to, right? You have to get crystal clear on your purpose. There's this amazing Japanese concept that's a perfect framework for this. It's called ikigai. It literally translates to a reason for being. It's that thing that gets you jumping out of bed in the morning because it gives your life real value. And your ikigai, your reason for being, is found right in the middle of these 4 areas. It's that beautiful, sweet spot where what you love, what you're good at, what the world actually needs, and what you can get paid for all come together. Here's another really simple but profound way to think about it. Just ask yourself, what are my unique gifts? What are my deepest passions? And what are my core values? When you get those 3 things working together, that's where you find your calling. And this definition of success from Dr. John Maxwell just nails it. It's not one thing, it's a 3-part journey. First, you know your purpose. Then, you grow towards your potential. And finally, you use all that growth to help other people. Okay, so you've defined your purpose, now what? The next step is all about building the right mental toolkit so you can handle all the challenges that are, inevitably going to come your way. And the heart of this idea comes from Carol Dweck's incredible work on mindsets. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset, this belief that your talents are just set in stone. But on the other, you have the growth mindset, the belief that you can develop your abilities through hard work and dedication. And honestly, the choice between those 2 changes everything. Just think about J.K. Rowling. 12 rejections. 12. It would have been so easy to just give up, but her persistence, even when it looked like total failure, is just a perfect example of a growth mindset in action. Or how about Walt Disney, fired for lacking imagination? Can you believe that? It's almost comical now, but back then, that was a huge setback that took some serious resilience to bounce back from. And Michael Jordan, I think, says it best. He doesn't see failure as the opposite of success. No, he sees it as the path to success. Every single missed shot was just another lesson that fueled his drive to win. So when it comes down to it, failure isn't the end of the story. Like Henry Ford said, it's just a chance to start over, but this time with more wisdom. That's the mindset that turns a setback into a setup for a comeback. And get this. This kind of mindset, this persistent drive for growth, it has a compounding effect. Pulling from James Clear's Atomic Habits, think about it. Improving just 1% each day feels like nothing, right? But do that for a year, and that consistency makes you almost 37 times better. Wild. And this brings us to our final principle, which really elevates the whole journey. Once you have a clear purpose and a growth mindset, true fulfillment comes when you turn that energy outward to serve other people. It's the big shift from personal success to real, lasting significance. Robert Greenleaf, the guy who pioneered the idea of servant leadership, just captures this so perfectly. True leadership isn't about having power over people. It starts with a real, genuine desire to serve them, and the desire to lead just grows out of that impulse to help. This right here is the ultimate takeaway. All the trophies and job titles, they fade. But what lasts is your significance, the positive mark you leave on other people's lives. That is the legacy that really matters. Which brings us to our final, big, reflective question. After talking about purpose, mindset, and service, how do we actually measure a life well lived? This is really a call to action for you to define your own metric for success. You probably know the iconic song from the musical Rent. It poses this question so beautifully. We all get the exact same number of minutes in a year. The real question is, what yardstick are we using to measure them? Is it in dollars, accomplishments, or something else entirely? And that leaves us with this final, powerful thought. It suggests that the ultimate measure of a truly significant life is found in our relationships, in our compassion. So the question isn't just how you'll measure your life, but how will you measure it in love?